Margaret.
I'm Samire.
And welcome to Therapies in the Pod. Missing a pod today. Or a P. Oops. Olivia's not here right now. She may pop in later. We do not know. But happy to be here with all of you. We are going to actually have a topic today. If we hopefully stay on it. If we veer away, that's fine. But we were going to talk about medication management, kind of getting off meds, going on meds, how that process is. I know me and Samira, we both have kind of had our ups and downs with the whole medication journey, so kind of just talking about our own experiences and then hopefully getting to the coping skills and things that we can do to just be kinder for ourselves and just to make this process a lot more smoother.
Okay. You want to start the check-in?
Start the check-in. How are you?
How am I? I just got out of a session, and I feel like I got out of a session, and then I tried to record on my phone, and now I'm all frazzled because that didn't work, so I'm a little annoyed. But other than that, I think I'm really excited to be back and just to have a conversation. I feel like this is exciting, just me and you having this conversation.
I know, because last time when Samira was out, it was me and Olivia doing it. Now it's me and you. It's nice.
Yeah. So I'm okay. How are you doing?
I always have to take a second because I'm doing okay. I also had a session at 3, which went really well. It went good. But then also again, which we'll get into with the topic later, was anxious, was kind of just like kind of hopeless, kind of anxious, all out of sorts. And now I'm here doing the podcast, and I'm happy to be here, and I feel a lot more relaxed. So that is good.
Good. Okay.
That's where I'm at.
So with medication, there's a few places that we can start. Do you want to start? Do you want to give the medications that you were on? Do you want to be detailed about it? Do you want to just give overview? How do you want to do this?
That is a great question. I guess I could say the medicine. I mean, I was just going to say like, oh, I'm on a medicine for panic, or on a medicine for, but yeah, I'll probably just do that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start with where you're at right now and work your way backwards?
I feel like, at least for me, because you can do it however you like, but I'm probably going to go from the beginning to where I'm at now.
Go for it.
Here it goes. Let me have some water. So, I think I said this on a podcast. I think one of our first podcasts. I don't remember. But I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of panic around like the month of middle of May, June. Found a great therapist, found a great psychiatrist, was doing really well. I weaned off, so I was on a benzo for anxiety, and I weaned off of it. Was good for about 3 weeks, was feeling back to myself, very energized, very upbeat Margaret. And then I think it was the second week of July, I was going for a walk, and like, I just had a session, I was going for a walk, I was having a grand old time, to be quite honest. I wasn't really anxious about anything, and I started feeling, a lot of panic come up, and being like, okay, I'm feeling panicked. Like, I acknowledged it. I was like, let me go, because it was really hot outside too, and I always forget that the weather can, at least for me, really affect how I'm feeling, and I was on a walk, so came inside, made some tea, relaxed, and it just started ramping up really bad.
What started ramping up?
Excuse me. That panic feeling.
Okay.
And how I describe it, which it's so hard for me to describe it, but it's good for me to learn how to describe it. I normally feel anxious in my stomach, typically, like knotted stomach, like nerves before a test or something kind of feeling. But this one was more around like my chest heart area, nothing like chest tightness or out of breath, just like a surge of adrenaline, I guess is the best way I could put it.
Okay.
I know, I'm still trying to figure out how exactly it feels.
I think that's fine for now, and if you have better vocabulary for it, you can use it.
Yeah. And then, try not to make this such a long story, because I feel like I get carried away. Was really panicked for like 3-4 days, didn't know what was going on. I actually ended up having to reschedule some clients, which, again, I know I was anxious or panicked or whatever, but canceling sessions and not going to work definitely makes it worse for me. like kind of just stopping my life, which is also not good. So then I talked with my psychiatrist, and they put me on so I have actually, I'm just going to say it, why not? Because hopefully this will help people, because I always wish I could find like a podcast that said the exact medicine I was on. But I'm on a medicine for sleep called mirtazapine, and it's used off-label for anxiety. And I've responded to it normally really well with my sleep. So because I'm really sensitive to meds and whatnot, and I didn't want to go on a whole other thing, and then I would just overthink that whole scenario, my psychiatrist was like, well, let's put you on half the dose that you're like, half the dose of mirtazapine that you're on for sleep in the morning for panic.
Yeah.
And I was actually, because I have my psych appointment today, so I was kind of looking back at some of the notes I took up till this point, because today marks like a month since I've been on it. Again, up and down. Some days I was still really anxious and panicked. Some days I was pretty okay.
Okay, we're talking about the
mirtazapine.
So, okay, that's the medication that we're, okay.
Yeah. A lot of ups and downs. Was definitely getting in my head a lot, being like I'm still anxious, or like I'm also like really exhausted one day. Like I'm very sensitive with my body, so like anytime I take anything, I just feel like, whether it's real or not, I feel like I could just feel it so much in my body, like it's different. And so I like overthink it a lot. But again, it was just a lot of ups and downs. But I guess looking back, I guess the panic got a little better. It's so hard to describe. But anyways, I guess going into my appointment today, like, I guess I should also say that there were 2 times in the month where I did try to go off of it for a few days just to see my baseline and see how I was. And again, like the first day or 2 was good, and then really bad anxiety again. Took it, still have anxiety. It's like, it's so hard because it's so subtle, at least for me. I would love to know, like, if anyone else has been on mirtazapine or any like panic medicine, like as needed medicine, letting us know how it is. But it was so subtle for me. Like, it wasn't like I take it and I'm immediately calm. Like, I would take it and I'd feel calm initially, but then it was just ups and downs of anxiety, and so that has left me feeling like really hopeless. So I got back on it, and I've been on it now for 4 days since the last time I tried to get off of it, and just really hopeless right now, because it's like I don't even know what is going on. I'm also at a point in my life now, which is different than a lot of the podcasts we've made, where I'm doing really good. Like, I feel like I don't have a lot to be anxious about. I can always pinpoint something when I'm anxious. So the fact that I'm like having physical symptoms of anxiety but don't have anything to pinpoint it to almost makes me feel like, is there something going on that's mimicking my anxiety that isn't it? I'm all confused, as you can tell by how I said this.
It's so what I'm understanding from what you're saying is the anxiety is more I was going to say internal, like body internal,
Mm-hmm.
not mentally internal.
Right.
I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but so for the past few days, if I can say this,
Mm-hmm.
it's been you still saying, like, I feel anxious, I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what's going on, and it's not mental.
No. And, go ahead.
Well, can you try and help me understand
Mm-hmm.
what the anxiety feels like? So you already said that before it felt like adrenaline. What does it feel like in the more recent days?
The same.
So adrenaline.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you separate adrenaline for a second? When was the last time you felt adrenaline?
Like outside
real,
of this?
Yeah, like real adrenaline that you were like, oh, that was adrenaline.
Probably a week ago, after I did like one of my higher level of my Pilates classes, and I felt adrenaline, I think.
Okay.
But I think it was like, even
and
at...
that feels the same.
Yes.
Okay.
But, and I think like that used to... Knowing that I feel like adrenaline with something good like Pilates has helped me not overthink it, like I'm still going to work, I'm still doing my thing. But again, like even after I took that class and I felt it,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, it's because I did a higher intensity class, like that is why that's happening. So like, like with today and mostly with yesterday when it's just constant, and I'm like, I don't know why this is happening. I didn't even take a Pilates class yesterday. Did I? No, I didn't. Got to work and was just still feeling it, so.
Okay, so I'm going to describe my version of adrenaline because I really want to understand this. So when I feel adrenaline, and it could be something as small as I need to answer an email that's giving me like, but when I do feel it, I feel like a heightened sense of like energy, of internal energy. Is that how it feels?
Yes,
like if I wanted to, I can run off the adrenaline.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that makes sense with the Pilates then.
Right. No, that is true. But then it's like, even when, and I've tried to be like, okay, I'm feeling this. Maybe I go for a walk. Maybe I do something active. And then I come back inside. I feel okay for a few minutes, and then it's just back up to it again. So,
yeah. Going back to the topic at hand, because I know you wanted to stay on topic.
Yeah.
So medication. What do you want? What do you want me to know right now about the medication? Like, what do you want to explore?
What do you mean?
Like, you wanted to talk about medication in this session, right? Or the session.
Yeah,
The
episode. Yes.
You wanted to focus on medication, so I want to help bring back the focus.
Okay.
Right now, we left off of the what medication?
Mirtazapine.
I can't. I want to say it.
No one can ever
word.
say it. I know. Mirtazapine.
Okay. Do you want to talk about any other medication, or you want to just stick with that one?
Well, I guess for me, like, how I was thinking of doing the topic is not even just exploring the different meds, because I am on other ones and like what they do and how they help me function, but I guess more of just like going through this medication journey. And I also am saying this, I want to hear your story too about everything too.
Yeah.
But to clear it up right now, just like when you're going through medication journeys and having ups and downs, or like, let's say you stop a medication or start one and you're having a lot more anxieties, and there's just like so many changes internally, and like how to, I guess, process that in a way that, how do I want to say this, that makes you be more kinder to yourself and be more, I guess, like...
Well, that makes sense the way that you're describing it. You're putting a very positive spin on it. Like, even the way that you're talking about, like, going to Pilates, and which I think is great.
Thank you. I'm trying. But, yeah, I guess just, like, the journeys of just medication in general, and, like, the ups and downs, and how it, I guess, like, affects the day-to-day. I would like to hear about your journey, if you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Take me out the hot seat for a second.
I got on Wellbutrin, like, 7 months ago, and it was for, like... We were testing it out for the possibility of, like, ADHD, and it was doing wonders. I'm a huge fan of Wellbutrin, and I would have still taken it. The side effects for me, like, when I was on Wellbutrin, at first I didn't notice the shifts, but everyone around me noticed the shifts, and I really noticed the shifts when I am off of it now. I noticed how much it really was helping with, like, concentration and just being more alert and being more aware of my surroundings in a different way other than hypervigilance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was only... So you were only going on it for ADHD?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the reason why I got off of it was because of hair loss. Like, I just started to lose so much hair that it was freaking me out, and I was like, I don't know that this medication is worth it for, like, what was happening.
Yeah, that's so scary.
And, yeah, so, I mean, at first I was like, I'm seeing this, and then I went to the dermatologist, and they were like, okay, like, you just moved. Like, I was, I had just stopped fasting for Ramadan, so there was that aspect of it, and then I also got on Wellbutrin. So they were like, you're all three things, like there's a lot of stress in the body, a lot of stress externally and internally. So they were like, okay, let's see how you do with Nutrafol. So I started Nutrafol for the hair loss, and then I just kept losing hair, so I was really freaking out. And then I just decided, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I really was worried about, I kind of did stop cold turkey. I went from 300 milligrams to 150 for 4 days and then just stopped, and I was really worried about that. But so far, I mean, besides, like, the headaches that I was feeling, everything has been fine. I do see myself having a harder time completing things like notes and, like, doing things that were easier on Wellbutrin due to, like, the ADHD. But yeah, I do feel like I'm very lucky because the medication really helped. Yeah. And then getting off the medication was not as bad as I was worried that it was going to be. And my journey was short-lived. It was only 7 months. Yeah. So there's not really much that there's no negative that I can really bring up. Okay. Besides the fact that I can see myself acting slower and, you know, like my physical movements are slower. I'm having a harder time completing tasks. But yeah.
I actually like that our stories are not only is it a different medication, but very different in how it's going for us. And I really like that you brought up, I mean, obviously I'm happy too, as your friend, that it wasn't that bad. But I think it just goes to show too that, like, everything is like a guessing game. And that sounds really fucking scary. But the more you think about it, like, I don't know, I feel like not everyone's going to get off a med and feel great. Not everyone is going to be on the same med and feel the same way. Like, it's all kind of a guessing game, and I feel like that sounds, and still to me as I'm saying it, that sounds so fucking scary.
It really does. It really is.
It's terrifying. And, like, even when you were saying it, like, I'm not gonna lie, not in a bad way, but I was like, damn, like, that's not, I'm not saying that you didn't have any difficulties, but, like...
But my difficulties were physical... like the physical symptoms or side effects of the medication. Like, that's where I was struggling.
Right.
It wasn't I think I would much rather struggle with the physical, the symptoms or the side effects. Yeah. Than what you were struggling with, which is like all internal and your internal experience.
You know what? Absolutely. This brings me to an interesting point of even being on this journey for myself and having it just be a lot. It also makes me appreciate my, like, I call it my normal baseline anxiety, because it normally is all mental. I never really, unless I'm, like, doing a big, I don't know, like a presentation or something, I don't know where I get the knots in my stomach, but it normally was my racing thoughts. And, like, I think back being like, oh my God, I just wish I could just turn off my brain and, like, not think like this. Like, if you were telling me this, like, a year ago, I'd be like, I would much rather have the physical body sensation than the mental. But now, I'm like, this is awful. Like, just feeling like that in my body, because that's a sensation I haven't ever really had before.
I think you've been doing, it's so unfortunate what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But you've been doing such a good job of acting normal, whatever normal is.
I love, like, please, I love that you said that.
But it's good that you can show up and present normal, but then, you know, the people that know you know that you're struggling, and maybe in front of, at work, you can't fully be the person that you are in that moment. So, like, freaking out on the inside without being able to, like, freak out on the outside in the same way, I also think is very difficult. So you've been doing a really good job, and I hate that you have to.
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
No, it does. Okay. It is. And see, this is what I love. Like, even though we planned this topic today, like, it was just the one topic, but not really thinking of how we're going to, like, make it all make sense in the end. But I just had another light bulb moment when you said that, Samira. A big thing, and I think a misconception. Is that a word?
We're going to find out.
Okay, a misconception. I don't know if I'm using this right. No, my bad. It is a word, but I don't know if I'm using it
Margaret
correctly.
Margaret created a new word, guys.
I did. Have you ever heard of it? Misconception is that, I don't think that's right. Anyways, that when I'm anxious, I feel like I cannot appear normal, which would make me in the past not show up to work.
Not
go out.
So interesting.
Right.
Oh my God, you do such a good job.
that is nice to hear. We'll talk later. I have more to ask about that off the podcast. But that makes me feel a lot better, because in the past I was like, well, I can't go to work. I can't show up for my clients. I can't hang out with friends. I can't see my family because I'm not myself. And so a big thing with this too is reminding yourself that, like, you can go and do these things, and almost always, which to Samira's point too, is that most of, like I do feel like I don't feel normal. Like yesterday, today, even now, which is funny because it's like I feel like I am talking and acting all silly and quirky and whatever. I don't feel normal or like myself. So almost kind of showing yourself, like, don't tell yourself that you can't go and do these things because you're anxious or because you're going to be like wearing it on your sleeve, because I feel like you can do these things, and most of those thoughts are just what you think of yourself because you are in your body.
That makes me really sad. Like the idea that you are... Okay, so at what point is it this is just who you are versus you are acting like the person you think you would present as?
Isn't that a great question? My psychiatrist later is going to have a field day with me at my appointment because I don't know.
Oh, man.
Also, taking into account, too, with another thing about medicine is, like, I think of, like, I hold on to those, like, symptoms. Like, I'm feeling like this isn't like me, like, what's going on? But I also fail to remember all of the other data that I'm missing. Like, I went through a really traumatic experience, like, 2.5 months ago.
I can't believe that's been 2 months ago.
Yeah, I feel like we should share.
Oh, only if you want to.
I'm comfortable.
Oh.
Because this is important. Oh my God. I think I'm going to cry right now.
I have tissues over there.
No. No, just because I always told myself that before we started doing the podcast, and me eventually bringing this story and saying it, so I can't believe it's happening, in a good way. Mm-hmm. I'm not crying because I'm upset about it. I'm crying because I'm happy. I also feel like it's the Margaret show right now, so please stop me at any point.
It won't.
Okay.
It could be Margaret's show.
Ugh. So a few months ago, it's a long story. I'll make it quick. I had a panic attack and was not doing well, and I went to the hospital because I was just not feeling well, wanted fluids, just wanted to be checked out because my health anxiety was just bad. I don't really have panic attacks at the time that often, so went in. The hospital gave me triple the amount of the benzo, which I talked about earlier, that I was not supposed to have that much of, and told me to just stop it cold turkey, which led to me having Ativan withdrawal. I've never been on a benzo before. I'm not a doctor, so I didn't know that the amount I was taking was like triple the amount I was supposed to be for my weight. And so that ended up in me being in constant fight or flight, constant panic attacks, the chills. I was so sick. I didn't know what was wrong with me. Like, I had no idea. And that actually led me to going to a behavioral health hospital. And I was just going at the point of, like, maybe I need, because I felt like I was going insane, to be quite honest. And it was Ativan withdrawal the whole time, but I didn't know that. No one knew that. So I was just like, I called off work. I was so in my head. So I went to a behavioral health hospital to get assessed, and they put me in inpatient, which, I want to make this clear, definitely made me have a very negative view on how inpatient is for people. And I know it's a very sensitive and hard topic for people, but I would love to hear anyone else's experiences and thoughts on that, whoever's listening. But was not suicidal. Basically, they kind of just lied and twisted my words to get me in there. I was verbally abused, neglected. It was really bad. Why am I saying this story again? What was the point?
I don't know, but there was a point. We'll get back to it. I do want to say before you continue. Yeah. Also, we can cut this out if you want. Okay. Truly. What you just said about the Ativan withdrawal, I think it's also very important for us to all know that it is called practicing medicine for a reason, and that is because they are practicing. Mm-hmm. And nobody actually really has 100% certainty what they're doing, and they put you through in a position to go through withdrawal and then not give you the answer of this is what's happening, you're going through withdrawal.
Right.
And then put you in a position to put yourself into inpatient.
Right.
And go through hell.
Yeah.
And this is not the first story that I've heard that inpatient is. I know that it works for people when the people in the inpatient that are working there care.
Right.
When they don't care, it's not going to work for anyone. When they're so gung-ho about you, like, being a danger to yourself, even though you have no idea what's going on, it's not going to help. So, one, advocating for yourself. Sometimes you do know better than the doctor about your internal and external experience.
Absolutely.
So advocating for yourself in the hospital or at the doctor's office. I just want to say that is probably the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from what's happened to you. And also, inpatients fucking suck.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, we can keep that in. Also, I remember why I was saying this. I was about like forgetting that I went through this really traumatic experience of being an inpatient and actively withdrawing there still, seeing horrors, which I will not even get into right now, but just seeing how people, including myself, were treated and neglected, and forgetting that too. Like, that was only 2.5 months ago. And yes, while what I said earlier in the podcast, I got put on the benzo again, finally, when someone clocked the answer and then weaned off of it. I had 3 good weeks after I weaned off. So I was like, great, I'm good, I'm back to normal. And then that's when, this time around with the mirtazapine, when I went on it, when the panic came back again, me being like, well, what's going on? What's happening? And it's like, and it's funny, as a therapist, I feel like I should know this. Like, and for clients I do, but for me it's different. Like, trauma is not just, okay, I went through it and that's done. Like, it very well could be that, like, after everything I went through, that, like, I am having, like, a trauma response to things. Because I had such a good 3 weeks, maybe subconsciously or whatever, being like, how long is this going to last?
That is something you say quite often, though.
And I'm sure I said it during that time as well.
Oh, so. Yeah.
See, this is why I need Samira here to tell me this, because also after everything, too, which is another point, like, my memory after everything, like, is so skewed. I have to ask my friends or my fiance, like, how was I, like, 2 weeks ago? How was I at that time? Because...
No, at the time where you were going through the Ativan withdrawal, it was scary to see you. Like, it was so... I've never felt more helpless in my life, seeing, like, someone that I care about so deeply not know what's going on with them, not know how to explain it to you, and not know how to explain it to themselves. Like, it's very heartbreaking.
I forgot that you did. Yeah, I forgot. Samira was a good friend and came over to my house and saw me. But yeah,
I do it for the credit.
She did. She really did. Didn't matter. No, I really appreciate
She's my new boss now. I needed a raise.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
No, that's not true at all. I would do it again 100 times.
I will say, though, another thing that I think is good is, especially, like, the day when Samira came to my house, I'll be honest, like, and I'm a very social person. I love seeing people, and I was like, I don't want anyone to see me like this. Like, this is so embarrassing. But I forced myself to let Samira come over because, and yeah, she saw me. I was not doing well. I was super obviously anxious. I was wearing it on my sleeve, but just having someone there with me, even though I was still feeling like that, it did get me out of my head just a little bit. Like, it wasn't a quick fix, but it was still nice to show myself I can resume a somewhat normal life and, like, talk to my friend and go to work, because I think we went to work after that.
Yeah. I also remember you had, like, 2 socks on the floor. You're like, it's such a mess in here. And I was like, oh my god.
After everything I went through, too, I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't pick up for you.
2 socks on the floor. And I was like, oh, you horrible person.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that to say,
I think maybe if anyone that's listening did have a difficult time in inpatient and would want to share, because that's something that, one, don't bring it up if you think it's going to re-traumatize you. That's wild. Don't do that. Or talk about it with your own therapist, and then you can come and talk to us about it. But yeah, hearing your experience in inpatient and hearing, like, I've had other people that were very dear to me go into inpatient and have terrible experiences, and it, like, is heartbreaking to hear. Oh my God, I started crying when I was told about your experience.
Yeah. It was a lot, and as we're saying this podcast too, and I'm like trying to get the coping stuff in there. I know it's everywhere today, but no, you're fine. And again, like, I don't want to say this.
Well, coping with what though?
Oh, I was going to say coping with, what was I going to say? Oh, how to be kinder to yourself, I guess, in general, is bringing it back to the topic. Because I know you're veering a bit off of, like, how, one way of, like, coping with the ups and downs of, like, the medicine and the medication journey, which is one thing I'm noticing now, is, like, really noticing the progress that you have made. Like, even for me right now, like, I'm still in panic. I still don't know why it's happening. But even after telling this story right now again, like, I never thought that I could ever say that, because it was very traumatizing in the beginning. I couldn't really tell anyone anything. It was too much. But even right now, I noticed in my state of panic, in my state of not knowing what the fuck is going on with me, I can still show up here, do a podcast with one of my best friends, and share a really traumatizing thing that happened to me while in a state of panic and be okay with it.
Are you currently in a state of panic?
No. I guess I should stop saying that. No, I'm not right now.
Oh yeah, maybe another thing that we can talk about here for skills is being very careful with the words that you use. Sometimes I will say, I hate this person, when in reality I'm just mad at them. Hate has, like, a very visceral reaction to someone.
Yeah.
When you're saying hate instead of I'm mad at a person, it does change the way that you conceptualize the situation.
That's very true. I appreciate the call out, soft call out. Well, I think too, because, like, the last 2 days, I really was, I would say, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but, like, yesterday and the day before, when I was at work doing my thing, I did feel it almost constantly. And so I think I just generalize it to be like, okay, those 2 days I felt it constantly, I'm always panicked. But until you said that, I was like, no, I'm not panicked right now. So it is really, I guess, important to choose the words that you say.
No, not only, it's not important, it's important to choose the words you say, but also to check it. You called yourself out.
I sure did.
Like, checking in with yourself, especially when you're dealing with something. I'm worried about the next thing that I'm about to say, but, whatever. We don't know what your normal is anymore.
Right.
Like, we're going to have to discover what that normal is, and it might look very different. Like, you might not have the same hangouts that you used to. You might not have the same fun activities that you used to. You're just going to look, it's not going to look drastically different, but the new normal is still being created.
That's very true. I think one thing that is hard for me, though, to, like, because I do understand that, is, like, why were those 3 weeks so good and then all of this happened again? Because I thought that was my new normal.
Maybe it was for those 3 weeks.
Dang it. Come on. No, that's fair. I'm going to bring it back to you, because I know this is on me, because I feel like I'm making it too much about me, even though you said it's fine.
Well, I genuinely think everything that you're saying there's such a powerful message in a lot of it, at least from what I'm hearing. Like, everything that you're saying, it's important for people to know, and I like hearing it. So I don't know. You don't have to keep talking about yourself.
Okay.
But also, I like it.
Thank you, Samira. No, I appreciate that. No, not like I have a problem with it. I'm just like, I don't have much to say about it anymore.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you, because I know you said mostly for you it wasn't really withdrawing from the medicine, it was the symptoms that were happening when you were on the medicine, to the Wellbutrin. What, I guess, like, during that time, like, when your hair was falling out and you were dealing with that, what were, I guess, some, like, things that you did in the meantime before you had, like, a solution, or you figure out some steps that kind of helped you go through that?
Like, go through what?
having the hair loss and figuring out, oh, it's probably because of the Wellbutrin. And
I think the first step is just being really, really fucking sad about it.
Yeah.
Like, just being devastated that things are changing. Especially when you're, like, super femme-present. Like, I'm a very feminine person. I like to look feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So when my hair was falling out, it almost felt like... It was just really sad for me. Like,
Yeah.
it was... I love my hair. I love the way it looks. And it was just really, really devastating to see, like, that much coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first step, is just being really sad about it and understanding that this is the case. But then it was also, like, problem solving of, like, okay, I just went through, like, a really, really stressful move that I had to do. And I did that move basically alone.
Yeah.
And so got through that, and I was like, all right, let's wait a few more months. And I stayed with Wellbutrin until finally I was like, okay, I worked really hard to have as stress-free as you possibly can, a really stress-free life. And when I did get stressed out, I would do breathing techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I would try and, like, I do the thing where, like, I over-explain my stress to try and, like, remove any, like, if I'm really stressed out about, like, I don't know, having a conversation with Brandon, I'll go through, like, okay, what's the conversation about? What are you actually worried about? What are you worried will happen? Do you actually think that'll happen, or is that just your anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
So going through that, really trying to have, like, a stress-free life. I changed my diet, and I tried to, like, eat so much cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And the hair still was falling out, and that's when I decided we have to, like...
Yeah.
And even, honestly, to this day, like, if I still continue to see the hair loss coming out, I might just go back on Wellbutrin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Wellbutrin's not the issue,
right,
like, and I'll find out in 6 to 7 months, or maybe more,
mm-hmm.
you know, within the next year, if there's still hair falling out, I will go back. Like, that's how good Wellbutrin was for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, actually, I loved how you kind of just, like, went... Oh, also, Brandon's our boss, by the way.
Oh, we talk about it. So
we do. I'm like, maybe we should say it. But, like, kind of going through all the other options, too. Like, I feel like a lot of times we're like, oh, it's this one thing. If we just change this one thing, it's going to make it better. But I like what you did of, like, you know, changing your diet, looking at other things that may be contributing to it.
I did not want to give up Wellbutrin.
I know.
I was like, it could be anything else. Let's see what it is. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's, it's what you were talking about before, where it's like medication is so fucking scary.
Yeah.
That, like, finding something that works for you and having it not work anymore is equally as scary.
Yeah.
Going back and trying to find new medication is so scary.
Yeah. It's all scary. It's all a lot, but I also think at the end of the day, too, like, I feel like I'm going to sound like our boss, Brandon, right now, but...
she's filling the shoes in.
But, like, I don't know if this works for you guys, but this kind of helps me get out of my spiral, is, like, and I said this a little bit earlier, but, like, everything is data. Like, even if, like, I'm still panicked, I'm not right now, but even if I was, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Or, like when you said, too, of, like, oh, let's say I hope this doesn't happen, but if you're still having problems with your hair falling out longer, okay, then I can go back on Wellbutrin because it was really helpful. Maybe it's something else. Like, I'm sure it's still devastating. Like, it's devastating to have your hair fall out. That would make me so upset. And devastating to still being panicked here and there and not being able to point it out. But I think that's all data. And I think eventually when you do get to the other side, looking at it as, yes, obviously what Samira said too, be sad, be fucking angry. I'm probably going to be sad later and be a little mopey and be sad, and that's fine. But also knowing that all of these things that you're noticing is, in a way, also going to help you. I have a point I'm trying to make, and I can't.
That's okay, take your time.
Okay.
We're not in a rush.
I guess all of the things that we're doing with, like, figuring out what works and what doesn't and all of that, like, it sounds very cliche, but I think it makes you just a stronger person overall. And when you look at it, like, not trying to sound like it's, like, toxic positivity right now with, like, the glass half full, but even bad things that are happening, you know, looking at that as data and being like, okay, like, now I know that this is happening, what am I going to do about it?
I have an issue with you calling that toxic positivity, Because hope is also a very important piece of this puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have hope that at there is an end of the tunnel. You have to
You're
have
right.
hope.
You're right. Man, I'm happy you said that, because I'm realizing I say that a lot to myself.
What, toxic positivity?
Yeah. I know.
Oh, man.
Which, again, like with my clients, I always believe with other people instilling hope and having it be something you can hold on to. But I've noticed now for me, in my therapy sessions, in my talks with friends, with family, with my psychiatrist, before I say anything hopeful, I do say, I don't want to sound like toxic positivity right now.
And then what do you finish it off with? Like, do you remember a time where you said that and then whatever it was after that?
Yeah, I guess probably something along the lines of like, I don't want to sound like I have too much toxic positivity right now, but...
Actually, hold on. What's your definition of toxic positivity?
Oh man, Brandon, if you're watching this, you're gonna kill me. I really don't know, and I feel like I should not be using a word or a phrase of something that I don't even know.
Well, it sounds like you have a belief about what it means.
Too hopeful, I think. Like, too positive, not cautious enough.
Okay. So every time I talk about toxic positivity, it's almost like that, the motivational, you gotta get up and go out there,
Yeah.
and you gotta, that's how I see it. I don't think you've ever been obnoxiously positive.
Yeah.
That's toxic.
That's fair.
I think toxic positivity with your case would have been like, no, you're gonna feel anxiety and you're gonna do it anyways and you're gonna be happy about it, and it's,
Yeah, that's true. And back to what you said, what did you say?
I think you're too empathetic to be toxically, so you're just saying this word that does not represent you at all.
Doesn't make any sense. I was gonna say something that reminded me of something you brought up in the beginning. What was it? I can't remember. That's fine.
It's okay. It is 4:50.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That went fast. Well, do we want to do, I think me and Olivia did this last time, I can't remember, but kind of like a check-in at the end of the podcast of how we're feeling?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So in the beginning, I was frustrated. Just so you guys know, Margaret is one of my best friends. I truly love this person.
No.
Any conversation that ended with a conversation with you, or any moment that ended with after a conversation, I just feel better.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
All right. That's that. Oh my god. How can I compete with that? She's just this random person that I'm just kidding. I don't really know. No.
She just showed up here.
Yeah, I guess we'll do it. I'm smiling too much from what you said. I can't even think. I'm feeling... Well, before... What was I feeling before? I think I was feeling like I was a little calm, but I was also kind of anxious and hopeless and everything. But right now, I still feel a little bit of that panicky feeling, but it's funny, after talking about toxic positivity, now I've been using it wrong the whole time, I feel more hopeful. I think, I was excited for my psychiatrist appointment.
Sorry, guys. Olivia's calling.
Nice. I was excited for it, and then I think as this day went on, I was just starting to get really hopeless and being like, what's the point? Like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, they don't know. I don't know, like, what's happening. But, I don't know, I think just after power of conversation, after talking with you and someone that I love and care about too, I feel a lot more hopeful and a lot more positive. Not toxic positive. Positive.
You have to remove empathy out of the equation if you're going to be toxic positive.
Well, that's refreshing then, because I'm very empathetic.
Very.
Too empathetic for my
No,
empathy.
okay.
There it is.
We're going right back to being... Okay.
But
this was lovely.
Yeah, it was nice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was everywhere, but that's just how... I'm not going to speak for Samira. My brain works.
What ADHD girl is... It is what it is. Neurodivergence.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you so much for listening, and or watching. And again, kind of like if you have any questions or thoughts or just want to comment about your own medication journey, whatever you're comfortable sharing. I know we touched on inpatient today. And yeah, we just want to hear your stories and hear your feedback, and we will see you all next week.
And we love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.